Let's go. Time for a big finish.
Last day, best day. Last day, best day. Best day, last day.
Live from Super Bowl Radio Row. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast presented by Factor Meal Kits. Head to factormealkits.com/CHGO Bears 50 and use code CHGO Bears 50 to get 50% off. We are also presented today by Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Use promo code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. We are finishing strong on this Friday. We got the lineup today is insane. My name's Adam Hogue. He's Mark Carmen. He's Greg Rags Jr.
Go.
And Nicholas is around here too. Nicholas Moriana, he'll be joining us as he's on. We put him on assignment for a couple minutes here to help our friends at DNVR. We have a couple shout-outs to start the show, as always. But let me run through the lineup real quick just to tease everything.
Do your thing, Hogue.
T.J. Edwards plays for the Bears.
Bears.
Khalil Herbert.
Bears.
Tyler Scott.
Bears.
Dan Orlovsky.
Hero.
Lions.
ESPN.
But hero. He's pretty good.
He was so freaking cool. I loved Dan. He was as humble and normal a dude. It was really enjoyable.
We caught up in a niche. Can we call him a niche bear?
Niche bear, sure.
Niche bear, but it's a great story. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to love the video. Cassius Marsh.
He's making the show?
Cassius Marsh. We slid him in there.
Okay, great.
Towards it. Well, maybe 50-50. Whatever content we don't get into today, it's going to be on our YouTube channel for sure. But I gave Braggs an assignment, and he delivered. And we're going to get to that in a second. Biggest guest of the week, without a doubt. Let's do your shout-outs now.
Okay. Shout-outs to our new diehards. Become a diehard by going to allchgo.com. You get a free T-shirt when you sign up. You're supporting us, and we do everything back to you. You get into our private Discord. We walked around yesterday, did a little video of who we're seeing here. And we do a diehard.
I'm asking you if this is my water bottle.
Diehard overtime. Yeah. It's your water, buddy.
Drink it.
Diehard overtime.
It's actually vodka.
All right, I'm promoting the diehards. Diehard overtime after the show. When we hang out, for those who support us to this level, we really appreciate it. Of course, our takeovers and everything else we do content-wise. Our Bears 100 top prospects for the Chicago Bears. When you become a diehard, you get access to that. It's a working document that Adam Hogue spends his entire life on, and we all add on to it as well.
I haven't thought about that in at least a week, and now you just stressed me out.
Well, that's what you're going to be doing when you take your vacation next week. You'll be working from Hawaii.
Great.
Tell Christy, your wife, that that's what's happening. All right, but welcoming in our new diehards, we've got Rob. Rob has been a guy that I've always respected the way he goes about his business, and now officially a diehard. Ashwani, my guy. Ashwani, the first Ashwani that we have welcoming to the diehard. Ashwani's been a guy that he just sees the good in people. That's what I appreciate about Ashwani. Sushi, not just a delicious food, but also an amazing person. Sushi, I apologize that my voice has been going in and out as we've been talking all week. Sushi, thank you. Great for lunch, great for dinner, even for breakfast. Sushi, you're an absolute superstar, and you too, Amrit. I hope I'm saying that right. Just somebody that walks into a room and just lights up the room instantly. Lit, Amrit. Love you all.
Lit?
Yes, I believe these. I think this might be a member of one family. All individual diehards in a family,
wow.
Perhaps.
Family.
The Nera family.
The diehard family.
The diehard family.
Love it.
So that is.
Did you shout out our guy Ryan too that we ran into on the way in here, or no?
That is a first. So thank you to the family or individually, however that goes in. Yes, Ryan from Naperville, diehard Bears fan, grew up, and. You can laugh that I took notes on this, but I like to shout out people properly.
We're laughing at the specific note.
the first one.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second if you let me. Ryan from Naperville, now living in California, loves the show. We saw him walking through here. He was super nice stopping us. So, Ryan, you are the man. I appreciate it. And, yes, next on my thing, there's one bathroom here, and there's like 8 stalls. And, when you go in there,
does this really need to be talked about?
Well, you are laughing at it, so now you brought it up, and you haven't let me tell any of my stories this week. And we're going to get to Bert Kreischer in a minute. But the point is this. I checked the stall to see if anyone's in there. I look for the legs. This lunatic walks up.
Is this over?
Yeah, no, it's not. This lunatic walks up, bangs on my thing as I'm in there, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And then he sits down right next to me in the next stall and just completely unloads to levels that I just are so unbelievably uncomfortable.
What are you doing right now?
Greg Bragg. That's why you saw the note. It was Bragg's. It was freaking Bragg's.
It was not me.
It was your cousin. It was somebody of your personality.
I thought you
just didn't care about anything whatsoever. Was just going to do his thing. Nothing mattered. It was just going along, and it was a horrible start to the morning. And I don't know if I'm going to make it through the show. Now you can do
kind of like the start of this unbelievable show we have played.
Well, it was. I mean, this is the life on Media Row. Can you check?
Radio Row.
Whatever. It's not Radio Row anymore. This is Media Row. Are we on the radio? No. This is media.
Okay.
So shut up.
Row.
Yeah. And by the way,
all right.
I had a dream last night that I was doing a national show. Okay,
that was definitely a dream.
Yeah, I was doing a national show that ALLCITY, that Brandon Spano, that somebody had put me on here. Kevin Kadick, Jake Flanagan, you do this national show, and on the show the guests were like Willie McDonald and Jeff Smith, dudes that I had never heard of, and I'm hosting this show.
Nobody's
and I know nothing. I know nothing about these people. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna welcome. I'm sitting at a table, and you're right behind me in my dream. 3 a.m, I've got you in a dream, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to talk about the Super Bowl to these national people that I've never heard of. That's what's happening to me this week. Now you can do the rest of the show. I won't say anything for the next 90 minutes.
How long was that? How long has this show been on? 7
I haven't
minutes.
even talked about my Matt Nagy dream.
Okay.
Which was amazing.
Stop talking.
Nagy took his headset off and left. Nagy left me. I asked him something. He was pissed.
Nagy would never do that. All right. This morning.
It's over.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I honestly, hanging out.
We made it through that.
Will you mute him?
I needed to get that off my chest.
You need to mute him.
Need
to mute. Okay, so earlier in this week, we saw Bert Kreischer walking around.
Yep.
And I challenged Greg to get Bert Kreischer on the show. And the man delivered.
Delivered.
I would give you 90% of the credit.
We did.
I'll take 10.
Hey,
but it happened.
You saw him this morning. You get a little.
It's a team effort.
No.
It's a team effort. I don't need the credit.
He started the conversation. All I know is I love Bert Kreischer. Who doesn't love Bert Kreischer? I think he's maybe the funniest comedian out there right now. And people who know me know how much I watch comedy and love it. So this was definitely the moment of the week where I'm fanboying. Not even gonna hide it. 100%.
It went like this. Oh my God, that's Bert Kreischer. I'm like, well, go up to him, Adam Hogue.
Yeah.
You're Adam Hogue.
Well, that was Monday night. That was it. He's been here all week. That was Monday night.
You did it again this morning when we walked in.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anyway, we had a conversation with Bert Kreischer. He came over. He sat down with us, and he had announced something big with us too that I don't think had been public.
He's coming to Chicago.
Here's our interview with Bert Kreischer.
Let's go.
Bert Kreischer with us here on Radio Row.
Let's
go.
We are big fans.
I just found out I'm playing in Chicago. We were walking in, and he goes, "What's the name of the venue in Chicago?" And I go, "He was the United Center." I go, "Where the Bulls play?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "You're playing there." And I went, "Shut up. I'm playing at the friggin' United Center."
The house that Jordan built.
Buddy.
Let's go.
The Bulls walk on. How great is that?
Will you come out to the intro? You should come out to the intro. Let's freaking go.
Oh, that would be
Rip
awesome.
something off. Let's go.
Buddy, it's all about the taking the shirt off, taking the tarp off, getting the pop from the crowd, smoke coming out, the lights, the music.
That's what I'm asking. Like, why don't you have your shirt off right now? What's going on
well,
here?
the NFL's a little prickly.
There's rules.
Yeah, I was literally.
Oh no! Oh jeez!
We're doing it. We're doing it. Come on now.
Okay.
I got Bert freaking Kreischer on. I got my shirt off. Come on, let's go.
We just open it up a little bit.
There we go. There we go. This is big.
Okay, I'm going to say
okay.
I broke my diet yesterday.
I'm working on my belly. Mine's getting slightly
your
bigger.
hair looks like a child.
Well,
you know what I just did? I just trimmed up my tits.
I love it.
Nice,
You got nice
nice.
I
tits.
lined them up. I lined them
Hey,
up.
you
I
got
did mine
nice
on
tits,
Tuesday.
man.
Yeah.
No.
Did you say tear them on a Tuesday?
No, I said I did mine on Tuesday. Yeah.
I was like, are you promoting The Rock?
What are you drinking?
I don't know. I rolled in. Look, Kay Adams got a show over there.
Yeah.
She was interviewing Sean Payton,
Yeah.
coach for the
Denver.
For the Broncos.
Denver,
Yeah.
And I was like, I know they have a bar, so I was like, I'm gonna slide in and just get a drink. And I totally interrupted the interview. I asked him if he'd life coach me. I was like, how much? $50,000 a year? And he looked at me. He's like, I make millions. I was like, okay, cool. He had the Lombardi Trophy over there.
Yeah,
I just needed something to right the boat this morning.
Yeah,
Love it.
He gets paid pretty well. Oh, okay, so it's April 4th at the United Center. We just found out about this too. I promise you, I'm going to be there. 100%.
I want you guys there, please.
100%
We're
we'll be there.
We're coming.
Are you guys born and raised Chicago guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so
in the
so-
city. In the
I'm
city.
from Northwest Indiana, which is called the region. But, yeah, we're Chicagoland guys.
So when you guys see Sebastian, do you hear that accent and go, that's our guy?
He's the most true. Well, they both grew up in Chicago, but he still lives in the city.
The answer to the question is yes.
Yes.
He's so Chicago.
Yeah, but you don't need to do that, Bert. You just be you. You've got. I mean, right?
Yeah, I'm so Florida, bro. I'm a typical Florida man. I take my shirt off. I drink too much. I think I'll die in a boat.
But you have some Chicago.
I
vibe,
actually had a
too. You
dream
really
last
do.
night that Baker Mayfield was playing for the Bears.
Well,
And I don't think that's going to be real
Well,
at all, but
we got this thing called Meatball Island here for our show, and we're going to send you guys some shirts, man.
Please.
You're going to love it. It's got a good Florida vibe.
Please,
Yeah.
I would love that.
It's been an honor, man.
guys. Thank you,
It's an
thank you,
honor.
thank you.
You're leaving us already?
I guess I don't know.
they're pulling them out.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
we'll
pulling
see you
it
at
out.
the
Yeah.
United Center.
All right,
Yeah.
hey, we're at MGM Grand Garden Arena this Saturday.
Okay.
Me and Tommy.
What was on
Come
the
through.
What was on the mix last night? I know you were having a little couple. It's just in yeah.
Dude, buddy, we went to I shouldn't say this, but we went to a $10,000 a seat tasting
Oh yes. Why not? You're
with
Bert
like
freaking
with the
Kreischer. Let's fucking go.
Illuminati. We were sitting next to Richard Branson's business manager.
Whoa.
Dude,
That's next level.
Andy Reid's wife was there. Like, it was crazy.
And you turned it around right here, 8
And,
a.m.
and he was here before us.
I had a bottle of wine from $18.99.
Whoa.
I didn't even know it was
tasted
possible.
like crap.
Living the dream. Living the dream, my
It
friend.
tasted like Napoleon's. Never mind. I'll let you guys go.
Thanks,
Living the
Bert.
dream, man. Thanks
Love you
again.
guys.
Pleasure.
Thanks, man.
So here's what I've learned this week. There's the level of Vegas we've been on, and then you have conversations like that, and you realize there's a whole
That's
nother
the upper room.
There's like a different whole city here that I think Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura and people like that have been living it up.
Yep.
Good for them. Good
Yeah.
for them.
I'm really happy for both of you, but
was nuts.
I hate to interrupt this broadcast, but we have a major faux pas that we need to address.
Uh-oh.
And it has nothing to do with.
Does it have to do with shirts coming off?
No, and pictures, none of that. Apparently, autocorrect has gotten us, and our newest diehard, sushi, is not actually sushi.
I was wondering about that.
It's Sushma. So Sushma, we apologize. We do love sushi. We hate autocorrect, and we love you, Sushma. Thank you so much for being here. Sushma rolls with the punches. She doesn't get bogged down by sushi, and and she's easy to go to a sushi restaurant with because she doesn't care what you order because it all tastes the same. Sushma, Thank you so much for being a diehard. Now you can go into Devin Hester being in the Hall of Fame, and Mongo McMichael and Julius Peppers and Braggs is.
Or how about we talk about how he took his shirt off? Are you here today?
Yeah, he's in La La
I
Land.
am, but I don't even want to think about it because I saw things that I didn't need to see.
Hey, you had your belly out too. We all did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I looked good. You looked like you.
That's what people
Wow.
on Twitter are saying. I'm mortified and thinking about life decisions. Like, I actually expected having Bert on, he was going to take his shirt off. That's his thing. I did not expect Greg to do it. Yes, I was slightly uncomfortable, but it was because of him.
I was just surprised because Bert was like, "Oh, it's the NFL." Like,
yeah.
Fuck that. Let's go.
Bert,
They got rules.
I'll say this about Bert.
Okay.
He instantly was
there's two police officers over there that are about to remove you from Radio Row, by the way.
Who's that guy that had his shirt off earlier?
Bring it on.
He was instantly our best friend.
Oh,
Guy
yeah.
was super freaking cool.
Coming to the city here.
He said April 4th, United Center. I love when comedians like that are legitimately jacked up about playing a venue.
Yeah.
House that Michael built. So one way or another, I'm going to be there. But
now we got to get him to our studio.
I think that qualified as an invite to the show.
Yeah.
So
He's not going to remember this day at all, but we did.
He's going to remember. Greg took his shirt off.
Dude. His first thing he said to us was, "How drunk were you guys last night?" And then he's like, I could barely stand last night. And he's sitting there with a cocktail this morning. I don't know if he's remembering this moment in time. Call me crazy.
I do wish we had a behind-the-scenes video of the 3-minute lead up to the 3-minute interview.
That was
because
good.
that was actually very entertaining too. All right, well,
Good start.
Good start. It was. It's been a fun morning with Bert Kreischer, and but last night was also a fun night, especially for the Chicago Bears. We had by the way, if you missed it, we did a live show last night when the Hall of Fame announcement happened. It was a lot. It was. I don't know. It was a one time this week where we actually got to just sit for an hour and actually talk about some things. Love all the guests we get on Media Row, but it was nice to just talk about the Hall of Fame last night. Nick was over at the press conference, did a great job. Our guy, RG, was with them. And so we wanted to bring you some Devin Hester from last night because I don't think this has really been out there. Nick got to ask some questions in sort of a media scrum, and we're not going to bring you the whole thing. We will post the whole thing to our YouTube channel, which is, by the way, where you can find last night's show, too, if you missed it. Adam Rank joined us to talk about all the Bears Hall of Famers that went in, and it was a lot of fun. But here is some of Devin Hester last night after officially getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So it happened last week. Got a call from Agent Danes about a week prior, and we both have old school cars, and he stays about 10 minutes from me, and so he called me and he was like, "Hey D, you want to go riding?" And I was like, "Sure, what day you want to ride?" And he was like, "Well, how about Thursday?" And I was like, "Fine." Then he was like, "We're gonna go riding about around 9:30. And I'm like, "Okay, cool." At nighttime, he was like, "No, 9:30 in the morning."
You knew something.
And so I'm like, who goes riding in their old schools early in the morning? You know what I mean? I got kids to take to school and stuff like that. They're like, nah, as soon as you drop the kids off and everything, we'll go riding. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so I told my wife about it, and she was like, okay, cool. And so all of a sudden, the day that we're supposed to go riding, my kids are all in the house and they haven't been to school yet. And I'm like, why are the kids not going to school? She's like, oh, they got dentist appointments. And so
she knew.
the kids are in the house, they sitting down watching TV. They say dentist appointment at 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I'm like, fine. And she started getting dressed. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I know you go drop the kids out the dentist, but you put on makeup and stuff.
Yeah, she gave it away.
Who you going to see at the dentist appointment? You know what I mean? And I'm thinking that. So she's like, nah, we just dropping the kids off. And all of a sudden I hear a horn bump at the front door. So I didn't get a knock, I got a horn. So he blowed his horn out. As I'm going to look at the front door, I see the camera crews and everybody coming up to the front door, and I see him with his gold jacket on, and that's when I knew it was time.
Devin, what did you think when you were up for it the first few times and didn't get in even with your resume?
Honestly, I thought I was going to be a first ballot. You know, I really did, you know what I mean, from my work on the field and the confidence that I made, I had in the NFL, I really thought I was the first ballot. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, I'm just blessed and I'm honored to be the first returner. Like it's hard to say who's the number one quarterback, who's the number two running back, who's the number one defensive player. But in the situation I'm in right now, I can honestly say that right now I am the number one returner of all time, and it's a great honor. And I hope that God allow me to open up the doors for the rest of returners, and not only returners but as special team players as well, to get an opportunity now to really, really get looked at as a special team player and do have the feeling that they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Did you start to think after the first two times that maybe this isn't going to happen, they're not going to put?
And Hester last night after getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame officially will be inducted this summer, along with Julius Peppers and Steve Mongo McMichael. Once again, we did a long discussion about all this last night, so go please check out. It's in the podcast feed. It's on YouTube. But, Nick, since you were there, kind of set the scene. I remember from the Urlacher night when he got in, just like I still look back on that, it was like one of the coolest things I've gotten to cover because it was just the emotions involved in it and how much it means to these guys. What did you experience last night just being around Devin and also Julius as well?
Yeah, you could just feel, I mean, you're in a room with these incredible players, right? And you know what, I wouldn't say that people got all too emotional when they're on the stage as they're kind of answering some questions from the media there, but when you see a guy like Devin Hester, the greatest return man ever, Andre Johnson, Patrick Willis, Steve, represented by his wife, it's like this is surreal. These are some of the greatest players at their respective positions up there on this stage, and just hearing Devin, even talk about in the clip that we just showed, like, I thought it was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You can tell how much pride he takes into it, and how he's respectful of the game, but still also at the same time, like, yeah, I'm that guy. So you definitely have to check out the full interview, which we'll put on the YouTube channel. But you could just feel the aura, the greatness of these Hall of Famers in the room. And you still look at like Julius Peppers. That is one big dude. It's insane seeing these guys up close and personal. But, yeah, it was an honor to get to ask Devin a couple of questions there. And because deservedly so, he should have been a first ballot, in my opinion.
100%. All right, well, great stuff with Devin last night. And, of course, we will have that entire – I think the whole thing was about 12 minutes, so we will put the whole thing up for you on YouTube as well if you want to hear more from Devin Hester last night. We have a bunch of Bears on today's show, so we're going to get to that as well. By far our just best guest list of the entire week, and it's been an incredible week here. So if you missed anything, it's all up there on the YouTube channel as well as our social channels too. But before we get to T.J. Edwards and Khalil Herbert, Nick, your guys at Factor, they've been with us all week long, and we've been very happy to have them along the way this week.
Yeah, we couldn't be doing what we're doing right now without Factor. And Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You'll have over 35 different options, a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutritional-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. 2-minute meals. Fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant-quality meals that are ready to heat and eat wherever you are. Snacks, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and more. And you can sign up and save. We've done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. And Factor, it's the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options, done easily and flexible for your schedule. Get as much or as little as you need by choosing 6 to 18 meals per week. Plus, you can pause or reschedule your deliveries at any time. And look, the part I really love about this, no prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. So head over to factormeals.com/CHGO Bears 50 and use that code CHGO Bears 50 to get 50% off. That's code CHGO Bears 50 at factormeals.com/CHGO Bears 50 to get 50% off.
And thank you to our presenting sponsor here this week, Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Get yourself involved. You are going to have a ton of fun. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy. It's just you against the numbers. Football, basketball, whatever. I mean, if you're doing hoop season, you can pick a combo projection across football and basketball from the Specials League. It's a lot of, that is like a ton of fun. You could do a DeMar DeRozan. You can do a DJ Moore. Or if you're going into the Super Bowl, maybe you want to make a bet on a Marquette,
George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
Let's go Kittle. Let's go Kelce. There's a million options here. So you really want to check out Prize Picks and up your daily fantasy game. It's really simple to play.
We put out a video this week asking a bunch of different people.
Yep.
More or less, 7.5 times they're going to show Taylor Swift in the game.
What'd you take?
I went more, and it seemed like most of the people in the video, we may actually have not posted this yet, but it's coming. It's coming before Sunday. But we did a prize pitch video. I'm going more, but some people have said that apparently in the AFC Championship game, they only showed her 6 times.
Okay.
But this is Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I mean, I think he's gonna have a big day too.
It's kind of tied into it's tied into Travis Kelce, because anytime Kelce does something, they're gonna. So maybe actually, it's weird, but it's actually kind of a football.
See how the game
thing,
goes.
even though
Now,
it has to do with
is
Taylor.
this only during the game telecast, or does things post game? Does that count?
It'll be during the game, Greg.
During the game. Just during the game.
So, well, I didn't know if it was just the full
start to end,
the full broadcast, or the game itself.
Prize Picks is very simple to play, and yes, you want your money, quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stats. So it's all there for you. Go to prizepicks.com/CHGO. Use the CHGO code for a first deposit match up to $500. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO. Use that code CHGO. Daily fantasy sports made easy.
Prize Picks.
Thank you to our friends at Prize Picks.
Are you okay?
I feel great.
You've been in Vegas too long.
It has been a long time.
I have not been here too long. I love to stay the weekend, although I'm very excited to go home and live my normal life.
Wait, did you learn anything about yourself this week? Because I learned something about myself.
What'd you learn?
The resting hogue face, hashtag resting hogue face is taken off. I'm now getting texts from even my friends about this. I'm seeing tweets right now that I look like I don't want to be anywhere else, or I want to be anywhere else besides where I am during that Bert Kreischer interview, which could not be, could not be. That could be the the opposite is true, because I was like completely fanboying out on that one.
That's what I mean.
But I got to work on my face. That's what I got to do.
People just don't understand context. Like the other day, resting hogue face. It was 8 in the morning. We were up till 2 in the morning the night before. We're rushing over here. It's early.
Lots going on.
People act like, my goodness.
You don't need to play nice and make excuses for resting hogue face. Whether it's 8 a.m., 8 p.m., 6 a.m., he should have a better resting face, and he's got to work on that, and our show can't take off
Part
until
of my job is to let people, not you guys, talk. When I'm interviewing them. So I try to look them in the eye and look like I'm listening to them. But apparently, I am actually just mad about whatever they're saying about Justin Fields.
Yeah, you got resting hogue face.
Listen,
how I met your mother, $5 pound sterling.
That's the guy that got you in trouble with Cole.
How I met your mother, £5 sterling, dollar, Canadian, European. Whatever. Glad that my super chat recently made an impression on Cole Kmet. Question: if one was to be a diehard in the UK, would I still get a free T-shirt?
Yes, of course.
Of course you would.
We'll send Braggs to deliver it personally and hope that he returns in 3 weeks.
I will come there.
We ship internationally, don't we? If not, we'll bring them with us. Yeah, we'll bring them with us to London.
May or may not wear pants.
We're going to have to work on the travel budget this year. We got Canton, we got London, we got...
Oh, yeah. We got to do a Canton trip now. Come on.
They're playing.
Canton's fun.
Yeah. All right. T.J. Edwards, Khalil Herbert, they were also fun. We had them both booked, and we were like, you guys want to just sit down with us together?
You're familiar with each other?
Yeah.
Right. Why not?
I'll spoil the ending of the interview that's not on the interview, but both of them looked at each other when they were done with us and all right, see you in April. They were so.
At first, I thought they were talking to us, and maybe they were to some extent, but they were also talking to each other.
Yeah, I see you way too much, and I don't want to see you here, and I don't even know why we're here talking to these guys, but we just did.
Cole was the same way. We're like, have you talked to Justin? He's like, nah, I've just been getting arm surgery and hanging out with my girlfriend.
I get that.
We're in the off season, and the other thing they said. They were like, you guys don't really get an off-season, do you? I'm like, no. When the season ended, our season just started because we're going to go straight through to the draft.
You're cool and rich and live a great life.
Get time off.
And we're really, really, really lucky to be here, but we've got to grind every single day to do it, which is cool.
Yeah.
We're very happy to do that. All right, go ahead.
Which is what we've been doing this week, and including this interview with Bears linebacker T.J. Edwards and running back Khalil Herbert. All right, we got a 2-for-1 deal here with T.J. Edwards and Khalil Herbert. Both these guys, long day on Radio Row, wrapping it up here, I think for all of us, hopefully. But thanks for stopping by, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you here.
Yeah. So chill off season, right? Nothing to talk about. Nothing going on.
Just hanging out.
Yeah,
yep. Cool. Everything's all good. Yep.
How are you guys feeling about, just as you reflected on the season? I guess TJ, we'll start with you. I think everybody was hoping ends with the win against the Packers at least to go into the off season. But were you guys still feeling overall like step in the right direction when it was all said and done?
Yeah, I mean, I think that start was tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was tough for all of us, especially being in the city of Chicago. It feels like the world is about to end. And I was just proud of our guys for just sticking together. I felt like, that could have went one or two ways, and we found a way to kind of turn those negatives into positives and learn from it and grow and continue to have fun doing what we love. And just it was fun, towards the end of the year there. We were all just flying around, hanging out, making plays, guys just doing what they do. It was awesome.
Khalil, you got a chance to talk to Shane Waldron yet? I know he's been making some phone calls. Has he hit you up?
No, not yet. I've talked to the new running back coach, though. So I'm excited to see what we do. He's told me some things about the offense, and I talked to a couple guys in Seattle, and they love it. And they love the offense they ran. So
you had to try. You're getting through injury, or you were red hot right before. Then you had to work your way back. How's everything right now?
Everything's good. That month off, it definitely pays dividends. But I've been taking care of everything, so feeling really good to go.
When it comes to this new offense, from what you've been able to tell, is it going to be a drastic change? You think there's enough crossover? What do you think?
You never know. I don't know. We haven't really. They've watched film, and we haven't put any install in yet, so we'll see. But I know we'll be running the ball, so that's one thing.
TJ, you mentioned just playing in Chicago, and especially when things aren't going well, how tough that can be. Obviously, the area, the market. What was it like though when you were actually in it as a player, kind of going through that tough start at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I mean, adversity, it hits you in all different ways. You never kind of know what's going to happen in every year, but there's always going to be something come up in the year. We just kind of had a tough stretch, but, I had a lot of positive reinforcement as well from, the negatives, but it was, it's football, right? It's the NFL, and your team's very passionate about what we do, and they want to see us win, and so do we. So, we were hurting just as much as they were, but we knew we had to, buckle down and get to work and turn it around.
What do you know about Eric Washington?
Not a whole lot right now. Again, I'm excited to kind of see the wrinkles that he brings in and the things he adds. I know he was with Maine as well, so I gotta get some details with Maine and see kind of what's gonna happen. But I'm excited for sure.
We talked to Cole earlier today, and he seemed like genuinely happy that Matt Eberflus was coming back. You guys can kind of keep that cohesion. What is it that you guys like about not only playing for him, I guess, but also I guess how he managed to keep things together throughout some of the dips, ups and downs of the season?
Yeah, really just, the person he is,
Yeah.
We learned a lot about each other throughout the offseason. There's different things that he implements that allow you to learn about coaches, players, staff members. And, he brings that energy and that passion every single day. And, guys want to play for him. So just him being himself, being that person every single day, allowed us to go out there, not waver, not lose faith, and just come ready to work every single day. So,
how would you bottom line what he does well? If you were Matt Eberflus is in this position because
I think he's a guy who, he's not going to get complacent with what happened, right? He's going to take, what we did well, and he's going to continue to build on it, but he's also going to take what we're not doing well, and he's going to fix it. So anytime, and he's also going to look at himself with that as well. So anytime you have your leader is, not only, coaching you up, but he's coaching the coaches up, he's coaching himself up, it's something that you can respect, and it's something that, you want to play for a guy like that. For
so
sure.
that sounds like such a simple thing, like you want to play for the guy, but that's a real thing. Like,
it's a real
and it's
thing.
not, and you guys know, I'm sure you guys have been in
thing.
places at whatever point of a career, from, youth football all the way up to where you're at now, where you probably at some point you probably had a coach that you weren't exactly excited to play for. So how big of a deal is that?
it's a huge deal. I mean, having that guy, it's just like your teammates. You want to play for your teammates. Yeah. Having that coach that you want to play for, at the end of the game, when you get a dub and he's in the middle talking, everybody's excited, and you just have that love for one another. So you want to have that feeling every single week, and he brings that every single week. So yeah.
And he's got all the nicknames, too. We're still trying to figure out our nicknames. He said he's got nicknames.
I don't know if you want them.
Yeah, so the nicknames aren't as popular?
Oh, man.
I'm looking at a team that was 7-10 that could have been 10-7, and I'm also hearing you guys talk about how much you love your quarterback. What would it mean to build on what you did last year versus any major changes as far as who's leading the club?
Yeah, give it to the defense guy. No, it's again, man. I was just so impressed with how he handled everything this year, and understanding where we're at, and first person that people are going to look at as a quarterback. And I thought he just handled it so well. He handled it like a pro, and just continued to get in there and get better, just like all of us were. We were all in there just grinding and trying to figure it out, and just the way he was calm and composed, and also making those big time explosive plays. And so yeah, I definitely hope he's here to stay, because I know I don't want to play against him. I know that is for sure.
Piggybacking off what he said, but really just his leadership. Through all that, sticking together, getting the guys going, bringing that juice to practice, challenging the offense every day. We have a bad period, bringing the offense up, bringing us all together. So just different things like that, we could build off of and carry into next season, and capitalize early on and start off fast.
Khalil, you've been with him since the start here. What can you kind of put it into words how tough it's been? I mean, you've had now you're looking at third offense in 4 years. Obviously, there's been adversity, whether it's coaching changes, just where the roster was, what it's now becoming, which seems to be a lot better. Just even for yourself, like just how rocky it's been at times, trying to get everything just on a linear path.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's the NFL, so there's going to be a lot of changes, whether good or bad. Coaches leaving other positions and this, that, the other. But you just got to find a way to adjust. And I feel like the guys that have been here with me the last couple of years, and even the guys we bring in have done a great job of just adapting and adjusting and being able to flip the script. And that's kind of what we're focused on now into next year's, taking the good from last year, building off it, learning off the bad, and being able to just ride that good and take that into next year. So.
They're always adding on to that running back room. Do you want to kind of be looking, hey, look, right here.
Hey.
I've been here.
Hey, it happens, bro. It's the NFL. Same thing happened in college, high school. Guys come in. Everybody's trying to take a job. So you got to do your job, do your part in the off season, do your job during the season, and bring it. So, I love the competition. Roe did a great job. Deontay did a great job. It just elevated the room. Darrington did a great job when he came. And so just having guys that can elevate the room makes the room better, makes the team better. So adds everything to it as a whole.
TJ, take us inside when the defense is humming. Yeah. When you guys are flying around, like you said, you're having fun.
Yep.
Like just having fun. What's that like? Just what's that like to be a linebacker when you guys probably can't wait to just get on the field and then of course get off the field because you got to make the big play. But it just seems like you guys were having fun there.
Yeah, no, we were having an awesome time. We got, from top to bottom, there's just a lot of characters on this team, offense, defense, special teams. So when guys can, when we're playing well and having fun and those characters start to come out, and there's nothing better, man. So it was awesome, towards the back end of the year. But again, I thought we were just playing aggressive, playing with energy and passion, and that's what our coach preaches, and that's what we believe in. And we started really putting it together at the end for sure.
How big of a difference did Montez Sweat make?
Yeah, big difference. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I saw him for 4 years in Philly, so I kind of already knew what I was, getting into. But I thought he just came in from day one, though, and was just humble, went to work, and he clicked with everybody right away. And I didn't realize he was that big until I first met him. I was like, first dude off the bus is him.
Walks like a slender man, bro. But yeah, he did do a great job. Just it's a lot having to have that on the defensive side. As an offensive mind, I'm thinking like playing against guys like that, you got to change your whole protection scheme up, send chips his way and stuff like that. So I know a lot of teams got to account for that, and it changes things up.
All the years I've covered the Bears, there's only two players I feel like have been able to just walk onto a team in a game week and then just go out and ball out like that. And the other one was Khalil Mack. When the Bears traded for Khalil Mack, they did it right before the season started. I find it so impressive. Now, it's probably easier at that position. Your job's to go get the quarterback. We get it. But still, I mean, that's – I don't know how to explain it, but it was very impressive just watching Montez. Oh, yeah, I'm just getting traded and then go out there and
just hop right in. Yeah. Hop right in. Yeah, he's a problem, man. He's a special dude for sure.
How did when Flus took over play calling, how did that help you guys?
I mean, kind of what we've been talking about. I think his consistency is something that's big time. You know, we knew exactly what he was thinking, and especially since when he started calling more and more games, we knew, in this range of the field, he's probably going to lean towards this on third down. Or so just having that comfort level is big time as a D, especially a linebacker, right? Because you're getting things set, you're got to know kind of where everyone's at. But I thought he was again the same guy every day, and found ways to get better, not only through us, but with himself as well, and it was fun.
All right. You got another one?
I got one more.
There we go.
I'm just curious, you and Tremaine, like when you felt like, okay, I know how you go, you know how I go, we're together out here, along with Jack and everybody else, but like the two of you, when did that feel like it had hit?
I mean, I thought we did, it's you first coming in, right? You're just getting to know everyone. But I think the one thing that keeps us going is that we're both competitive as hell, right? I think we both, want the best for one another, but we also kind of like secretly want to make sure, like we had, how many you have? 10? All right, well, I had 11. So it's like, like we do that all the time. And he's just, he's an awesome dude to be around. But again, just like everyone else on the team, easy to click with, easy to build that chemistry with, and another just massive human being too. Golly, what's going on, right? But no, it was a good time.
You've known Jack Sanborn for a long time, obviously. What impressed you the most about this season where, okay, two new guys come in, now he's off the field, obviously in nickel situations, but it seemed like every time he had to make a play, he's just doing what he does, speaking of consistency.
It's a pro. Yeah, it's a pro's pro, man. He's a young dude too, so for him to understand that is awesome. And I know a lot about Jack, know where he's from, followed his career in Wisconsin. So I know what type of player he is. All the Badgers aren't the same, but I kind of knew what he was about.
Hey, the Badgers linebackers, you kind of are all the same.
There we go.
I'll give you that.
So is Luke Fickell going to get this thing turned around for us? Because
who knows? We beat VTech. I know that.
Who? Ooh, hey man, look, we on the up and up. We turning things around.
I know it.
Guys, good talking to you. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And,
appreciate both of you. You guys are phenomenal locker room, man. Really
seriously, it's we've seen a lot of different locker rooms. You guys, I know it wasn't an easy season, but a lot of professionals in there, and appreciate the time you always give us too. So,
no doubt.
All right, guys, have a great offseason.
Appreciate you guys.
T.J. Edwards and Khalil Herbert for joining the show.
You want to make news from that? You want to overreact to something? I like to overreact to something. Can I overreact to something?
Oh, wait, you're going to analyze something that was said. Okay.
Yep.
We haven't done this a lot this week.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. I'm just going to sit back
get to the cramothetical
and listen to this conspiracy theory.
All right, well, cramothetical.
Put my thinking cap on.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, get rid of this hat. Yeah. It blocked Cole's.
It's a great hat.
Let me wear it.
I like that hat. Noggins, what is it? Nogginshead.com. But
they're awesome.
It
I love
blocked
them.
Bert's belly too. Get this thing out of here.
And the other thing too is it's Vikings.
We got to bring this back for Peck to do a hat toss with.
Oh yeah,
we
sure.
definitely
That's an
need
epic
to.
hat toss.
So I'm afraid to throw this right now because we have so much equipment here. I don't want to
just
chuck it right here behind you.
Please.
Chuck it behind you.
It's going to go right here. Thank you.
Good
You're
hat.
a beautiful hat, and we thank Noggins. Okay, that's fine.
Carmathetical.
let me throw the hat.
So here we go. Bears' new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Mm-hmm. All right? We talked to DJ Moore yesterday or earlier in the week, whatever. He's talked to Shane. Cole Kmet was on the show. Excuse you.
God.
Are you all right? Cole Kmet was on the show. Was that a snort?
What's going on here?
That's amazing. Cole Kmet. Shh.
Right.
Cole Kmet was on the show. He's talked to Shane. Khalil Herbert. Bears brought in Deontay Foreman. Bears drafted Roshan Johnson. Have you talked to Shane Waldron? No. Hasn't been reached out to. I don't think that they're looking at Khalil Herbert like that number one stud running back. I think they're more looking at him as a piece on the team. If he was a prime timer, Shane would have reached out to him. I didn't like that from a Khalil Herbert standpoint.
Are they drafting a running back?
Can I tell you how this works?
They're going to add another running back.
Do you know how this works?
Maybe I
Who
don't.
Who gets paid the most money on the team? Which players do I need to call first?
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert's what was he again?
Fifth round pick.
Who led year 4? Excuse me.
All due respect,
excuse me. Who led the NFL in yards per carry 2 years ago at 5.7? Who was up at 5 yards again this year? You can make all the Lawrence Benedetto motions that you're making right now that people can't see, which is a good thing because they were adult-oriented. Listen, I'm just telling. That's fine. I get it. quarterback's the most important guy. I'm sure he's talked to Justin, and I'm sure and DJ and Cole, all that stuff. But hey, reach out to your top running back.
The reason why I don't like you doing that though is, who's to say he hasn't done it like today or Monday?
What if Shane did text him, but he got the wrong number and he texted some random person? Did you ever think of that?
Listen, you guys can make all the excuses that you want to make. I'm just telling you right now that it's very obvious.
I just also don't understand your point.
My point.
Your point is what we already know?
That's right. My point is that what we already know. That's correct. It's not the best point I've ever made, but I'm underlining it.
We got a
Khalil
super
Herbert
chat.
is a cheap, solid running back who is coming back on the 4th year of a cheap rookie deal and is going to be in the mix, and it would not be surprising if the Bears look to upgrade at the running back position. How does that change anything?
You can talk about Khalil Herbert that way. I'll talk about him as the guy that led the NFL in yards per carry, who every time he touches the ball, I have no idea how he does it, but he's got that hesitation, keeps you off balance, and that burst that he started to feel towards the end of the year. And I'd like to see our offensive coordinator reaching out to the top running back on this team.
Okay.
I like Khalil Herbert. I'm just there's nothing surprising about that.
Me and Jackson
now,
Smith.
if T.J. Edwards had talked to Shane Waldron and Khalil Herbert hadn't, then I'd be like, okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys don't understand anything about creating a fake controversy. I do.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's 100. Yep, that's true. Okay.
Thank you. This Carm Friday has been very special, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. The Duke, 1999
Damn right you
Super
are.
Chat. I started late, so I just got to
How can
Bert
you read that?
because
so
I have
small.
eyes. I started late, so I just got to the Bert Kreischer segment. Love me some Bert. Braggs has had too much Vegas.
Yes, I think we all
had too much Vegas.
I can't wait.
We have reached our breaking
I
point
cannot wait to get on my upgraded seat on my flight home today. While you guys are.
You guys are gonna miss a time-honored tradition then today, Hogue. You guys are gonna learn it. I love Super Bowl week so much because it's such a massive divergence from normal life that whenever I walk out of here, the tears I well up a little bit because it's a good time.
No,
it's a great time.
I feel the same way, but I am going home without any money left in my wallet.
So that's good too.
I blame Brandon Spano for that. Like coming home with a hat, but Brandon Spano needs to learn the rules on when to hit on 16 and when not to.
It's been a fun week, though. It's been a fun week. We went to the Bellagio yesterday, saw the fountains, walked the strip.
All right, we got big guests coming up. You can't delay the show anymore.
Oh, I see.
You are the last person
I know.
that gets to say anything like that.
Now, I just said it. Game Time is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events. When you want to see Bert Kreischer at the United Center join the show today, do it through Game Time. Right now, if you're thinking about going to the big game, that's right, Sunday, Chiefs and the Niners. I'm picking the Chiefs big. You get $100 off when you buy a big game ticket with Vegas 100. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, the best price guarantee. Game Time, taking the guesswork out of buying tickets. Do that, and right now, once again, $100 off the big game ticket with Vegas 100. And if you're not going to the big game, use that code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
True Fan Travel will be throwing their own tailgate party on Sunday in Vegas for the big game. If you are a CHGO listener in Vegas for the week, and at first I was like, I don't know how many of those are going to be. We've run into so many people. There's people that are working here actually helping us find guests at times that are big CHGO fans.
Yep.
That's been really cool to see.
Yeah. So there are plenty of CHGO listeners here in Vegas. And if you are looking for an awesome experience to watch the game, True Fan Travel will be hosting a tailgate and watch party at Daylight Beach Club at Mandalay Bay within walking distance of Allegiant Stadium. This is the best place to be before and during the big game on Sunday. 5-hour premium open bar, all-inclusive package, fan-favorite food options, private restrooms, outdoor heaters, DJ entertainment from 2 to 3:30. It's a great location. You can walk to the stadium. Surprise guests to be announced. Again, you can come for before the game if you happen to be going to the game. You can come, or you can stay for the game if you don't have a ticket to the game. right there. True Fan Travel has you covered. Reserve your spot now to the all-inclusive VIP tailgate and watch party, or they have an option for private cabanas that are made just for Greg Braggs. The only catch with that is that Braggs will be in your cabana without his shirt on.
That's right.
Must be 21 plus, but head to truefan.travel/trip/Super Bowl 2024 to learn more. All right.
We're the biggest show here. It's been obvious the entire time. It doesn't matter that there's literally 1,000 people hovering around Pat McAfee.
I know.
And nobody hovering around us. We're
It's like
still
a
bigger.
zoo over there.
Yeah,
No,
but I
it's
still
insane.
I look at it as a compliment that is somebody like Bert Kreischer's walking around. We explained this earlier in the week, but where we are, we're in the
auxiliary.
We're don't say auxiliary. This is the true media row. Just because they've built giant studios around us to separate us, you know, in classes.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that we're not still the true media row.
That's
my
right.
point is, as people like Bert are walking from big studio, ESPN, Pat McAfee, to NBC, to the next thing, they saw us here and they're like, yeah, we're coming.
We'll join.
That's right. We like those guys. Way more down to earth. Way more interesting.
Better
This
looking.
girl's handing out pizza.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now.
Okay. And his ADD just kicked in.
I would love some of that girl's pizza.
Hey, can I get some pizza too?
Don't be a jerk about it.
It's
Come
not.
on.
She's not handing out pizza. She's eating a
she's-
slice
No,
of
I
pizza.
saw somebody
She
with
paid
a
for the
couple
pizza.
boxes. You got more? You got some more pizza? What's going on?
Oh, no. Here
You
it
got some more
comes.
pizza. Yeah. Where's it at? Whose pizza is it before I steal it?
Prince Street Pizza. Prince
We'll
Street
give a
Pizza.
shout out to Prince
Yeah.
Street.
We do tavern style.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody's going to eat the slice, yes, I will eat the slice.
Thank you so
You're
much.
the best. What was your name again? Madeline. I'm Greg. We're CHGO
All right.
Sports. Yeah.
We're Chicago. We got Denver, Phoenix, and Philly as well.
So I was the Buffalo Bills played in Chicago last year. It was the night before Christmas. My parents would have murdered me if I went to that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been to Chicago, but I want to go eat the pizza there.
You do want to come
Yeah,
to Chicago and eat the
you gotta
pizza,
do it.
and
Gotta
we want
You
to.
got to go to Salerno's if you go.
Yeah,
get
for sure. Got to go
pizza
to
in Chicago.
That's
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to throw Tyler Scott to you guys right now.
Yeah.
Tyler Scott,
Yeah.
he loves pizza too.
Yes, he does.
Let's play it right now. This was a great conversation with Tyler. Tyler's the best. I love Tyler. Tyler Scott right now on the CHGO Bears Podcast. Please tell me you're ready, Lawrence.
All right, we found Bears wide receiver Tyler Scott here on Radio Row. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm taking advantage of the offseason. Here in Super Bowl week, first time, obviously. So, you know, it's a good time. It's my first time kind of in this media section. And it seems pretty live, pretty wild. So, you know, happy to tell you.
Look at you. You got the J's rocking.
I do. I'm trying to step out a little bit. You know, got the J's on, you know, Ralph Lauren. So,
Yeah,
trying to step out a little bit, yeah.
for sure.
So you know that's 91, championship number 1 on the way to 6 for the GOAT. We don't need to go. We don't go super in detail. I'm not even going to ask you if you're a LeBron guy. I think we won't even go there. If you were to assess, have Tyler Scott put the grade on Tyler Scott's rookie year, what would you say when you're thinking back on it now?
Yeah. So if I had to assess, I'd probably give myself probably a C+, B-. You know, a lot of great things, you know, that I can take from, and a lot of things that, you know, I didn't like that I can learn from. I think, you know, me being able to play and show up, you know, all 17 games, you know, for me that was huge. You know, coming from a college season, you know, going from camp to playing a whole season there, and then going straight into combine training, and then from combine training, I'm going to pro day training, and then from pro day training, you're going to pretty much in a rookie minicamp into OTAs into then a training camp which lasts a month long, and then you got the preseason added in there, and then boom, here's goes 17 games. You're not your plan, and so it's a lot of running. You know, me a speed guy that's gonna, you know, run a lot. So I think I ran the most yards, at least on the team. You know, so just being able to sustain that and be able to be healthy throughout the year for me was probably something that I really took. Something where it's all right, that's something to take and grow from. being able to show up. You had guys in and out through the season. Had Chase Claypool early on. He was gone, and then had EQ. He ended up going down, and I had to step up and take some reps, going from maybe 12 to 13 reps to now I'm getting 40 snaps a game. And I guess through that time, seeing that all right, the coaches trust me. Go out there and know what I'm doing, not have a whole bunch of misassignments and stuff like that. So it was just a lot of good things I could take from the season. At the end of the day, like I said, it's fun just playing football, and like I said, I'm excited to see what comes.
Good at putting things in perspective sometimes, and I don't mean to bring up a couple tough moments, but I'm just curious, like the opportunity you had at the end of that Lions game, and then I'm forgetting off the top of my head which game it was when you had this shot in the end zone too. I look at those, I look at those, plays a couple different ways. I mean, one is you got open, I think the route running is obviously there. You've proven you can do that at the NFL level, and then it's just like kind of finishing those plays, which were not easy plays to make, but obviously when you get into the NFL world, it's like that's what they pay you to do, right? So I'm just curious how you look at.
Definitely. Like I said, I don't think, you have those moments as a player. You're like, man, I got to make that play. And one thing I learned early on, especially coming into the league, and even through college, is that you have to give yourself grace. Even when other people won't. And if you don't, and you're gonna have a lot of people coming in, banging you, whether it be social media. Or whatever, just outside noise, you have to continue to believe in your own self, and so, definitely good things, as far as you mentioned, getting open. For me, the game started slowing down, especially in the back half of the season, where, you get out there at first and you get out, my legs shaking, I'm like, gosh, I'm out here, and then you get snaps under your belt, and now you feel like you belong, and, a lot of guys talk about the speed of the game, and things of that nature. And what I found was that it's not necessarily I catch the ball and this guy's fast enough to catch me. It's the guy that I'm going against, his mind is faster than my legs. And so it's just that anticipation, And so for me, it started to click, later in the season. I started to feel the anticipation where, before it was like, man, all right, where do I line up? Is it, what's the audible, stuff like that. And then as soon as I'm trying to figure that out, set hut, and now the play's going, and I'm like, all right, shoot, I'm just running. And so, as the season went on, I was able to actually look up at the defense, see what was going on, see who I was going against, see what the coverage was, remember, tails, tendencies, all those different things. And, once I got that, I was able to get open, whether it be in the end zone or, whatever, just find myself being able to, have some space, to do what I can do. And now it's just, like I said, finish those plays off. I didn't start playing receiving until I got to college. I'm just continuing to get comfortable catching the ball. Even now, I pretty much everywhere I go, all around the house, I got a football in my hand. I sleep with it. I'm throwing it up in the air. I'm just playing catching myself. Always on the jug machines and things of that nature. But I'm just trying to get in love with just the football. Catching the football and just catching in different ways. So at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. Because even if you can't get open, as long as you can catch the ball, that's all that matters. So.
Tyler, you were saying that you were excited for next season. Obviously, you're going to have a new OC, Shane Waldron.
Yeah.
What's kind of like the vibe right now with him and like what he can add to?
Yeah. So obviously a new offense. I'm not sure if he was kind of under the same type of system that Getsy was, but we'll see. We'll see how if things go, things shake out. He just hit me up. I think about 2 days ago, just hit me up, just said, he was excited to, get to work, and, and just told him the same. I was excited to get to work too. So, brand new for the most part, offensive staff. We had Coach Morgan and Coach Dre back. But yeah, new receiver coach and Chris Beatty, and quarterbacks coach obviously. And so, so it's going to be a new offense. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm excited. New opportunities and things of that nature.
Bears fans, they were at times like, well, why is Luke asking Tyler to block when he's not the biggest dude out there?
Yeah.
Like, what was it like for you playing for Luke?
Yeah, I mean, I did have those moments where it's like, man, I got to go and block Cam Jordan off the edge, or, I'm helping Chip, Myles Garrett, or, I'm over here blocking Aiden Hutchinson on a seal or whatever, But no, at the end of the day, I'm not sure what the conversations are upstairs, but all I know is that I was the man for the job. And so, you know, I may not be the biggest person in the world, but I'm going to put my nose in there, you know, and do the best that I can, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, I think that's just in the workforce period. You're going to be asked to do things that, you know, you may not think is your strongest suit. And you may question, but you're going to do what your boss tells you to the best of your ability, and that's what I do.
I'm curious. I mean, you know, the fans are talking about it constantly, the quarterback situation and what's going to happen here. We know inside that locker room how much you guys love Justin Fields, but just, I mean, as his teammate, how closely are you watching this, paying attention to how this is all unfolding right now?
Yeah, no, I had to turn Twitter off, honestly, because I'm like, gosh, every time I open it up, it's something about Caleb Williams or Justin Fields or something. And, you know, obviously you're passionate about the game, especially fans, and, you know, that's what you do. You know, I feel like that's just part of the game. That's part of why people love football, you know. And so, no, I mean, you know, it's definitely an interesting situation. Like I said, I'm glad I'm not the one to make those decisions. You know, Ryan Poles has got a tough job there for what they want to do. But, you know, all the players obviously support Justin. And, you know, we had his back, you know, from the beginning of the season when, you know, he had people coming at him. And I think that's a tough situation for Justin, too, to be able to try to be that face, lead the team, and then you got media or fans or whatever constantly heckling at him. And it's like, dude, he's trying to go out there and win for the Chicago Bears. And at the end of the day, if he plays for the Chicago Bears, support the Chicago Bears, you know, no matter who's behind center. And, you know, but, you know, I love Justin coming in. I may be a little biased because I was an Ohio State fan growing up, and I love watching Justin, and yeah, but no, definitely an interesting conversation, interesting situation. You know, I knew I was going to get probably a whole bunch of questions about, well, what do you think and all this, but honestly, at least me, I know just as much as you guys do, honestly. So you know, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but my job is just to be prepared for whoever gets back there, and whoever does. You know, I'm just going to be the best player that I can be.
I mean, it's obvious I don't need to do this, but like the most likable dude going. So, I mean, Bears fans, this is an easy one to root for right here.
I appreciate it. I do.
All right. Here's my favorite part about that Tyler Scott interview. There's just slot machines in the background, just casual slot machines with NFL logos all over them.
It's the beauty of the NFL, baby.
When you and I did our first radio row in Minneapolis, in what would have been January 2018,
right?
There's no way in the world I would ever imagine we would have been in Vegas with NFL logos. There's slot machines here in Vegas that I think they made specifically for the week or whatever, but you can somehow select your team and who you're going against, and then. And the NFL logo's all over them. We have come a long way.
And by the way, there's real money on those slot machines. Those
ones over there?
Yes.
I've been too afraid to actually try to use. First of all, I don't like slots.
Arguable GOAT, Michael Irvin. Arguable GOAT, right there. Another GOAT. Is he coming back?
No, he's not. He's leaving.
I love.
You thought that yelling "arguable GOAT" at Michael Irvin?
He did look. But
you thought that would get him to sit down?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Me and Karma just got to the point where we're just screaming at people on radio.
People like to be blown up, and I mean, I overstated him. He's really not an arguable.
I love doing
GOAT.
shows with people that just see things and then yell them out.
So we have a $50 super chat from the Duke saying, my wife asked, next time you guys are taking shirts off on camera, could Nick be on set?
It's awkward.
Nick, you SOB, stop seducing my wife. I'm afraid there's only one way this ends. Single combat for her honor. You choose battleships or hungry hippos for the right to the Duke's wife.
Wow.
I have a couple follow-ups to this.
There's a lot going through my head. Go ahead, Adam.
One is, does it bother you at all that apparently you taking your shirt off had no effect on her whatsoever?
No, it's understandable.
Okay. And then second is, there's a story from this week that cannot be brought up on air, a certain dinner that happened a couple nights ago. And I'm still wondering if the Duke was actually there.
He might have been there.
That may have been the Duke.
I don't think it's likely, but it's possible that it was the Duke. And something about that actually made me think even more than it might have been.
Well,
hungry hippos.
Hungry hippos is the answer. Me, Nick, what I don't get is like, to me, you and Duke and his wife could all just be together as a throuple.
So I do
Like,
have
why
a
not?
girlfriend.
You know he's taken, right?
Well, she can be a part of the party too.
What are you
Quick
organizing right
quadruple?
now?
I'm just
What?
throwing options out there for the Duke is what I'm saying.
You need to stay focused here. How much more time do we have on the show?
What are you doing? You're Googling some name no one's ever heard of.
Yes, don't worry about what I'm Googling because I see somebody that
Chuck
We got
Chuck
Liddell,
Liddell?
arguable
Yeah.
GOAT. 49.
Now everybody's the arguable goat.
$49.99. The $49.99 Patrick Simmons super chat. We appreciate you. The best way to build a team is to actually build a team. Caleb will never be worth losing multiple first picks. Marvin Harrison Jr. is more of a lock than any quarterback, and Poles is just driving up the price for the pick. Look, we haven't even talked about
it's
the
been
number
a
one
while.
pick this
But
whole
it has.
show.
No, I was
we
gonna say-
appreciate you,
I was
Patrick.
going to say thank you, Patrick, but you blew it because we were about to do a whole show without talking about the quarterbacks.
See?
Although it's not actually true because these are recorded interviews we're doing.
That's true.
And we
true,
have been
yep,
talking to our
yep.
guests about
Patrick
it.
just set up Dan
Yeah.
Orlovsky.
And, yeah. Colby, $10. Oh, no, if Waldron hit up Tyler Scott and not Khalil, Carr may have a point about Herbert. Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm telling you.
It's been a few days since we talked to Tyler, and I think you're right. I think Tyler said he talked to him. Did he?
I
I don't know.
believe.
We can't hear the interviews as
Yeah.
we're replaying them. There's a little technical thing. So,
And we've done a million different interviews.
and, and our brains are fried, and I can't remember who said what this entire week.
Do you think that Shane? Do you
Yeah, I
think
know.
that Shane Waldron called Jackson Smith and Jigba the last couple days?
No, I do not.
I don't know. That video
They
went
went
relatively
super
viral enough. Thank you to everybody who has completely ripped off that video too. We really appreciate you very much.
Well, we did. By the way, let's shout out our guy yesterday, Walter.
Warren Sharp, is that what you're going for?
No. Yes. Maybe. Yes. Warren Sharp. Sharp Football. At Sharp Football.
Okay.
Who put out
Walter?
the video? It's a long way.
W.
I'm sorry.
W.
At Sharp Football. Warren Sharp. He's the man going to be on the show. He took the video, put it up, got to him weirdly, didn't know where it came from, clipped it, and then I yelled at him on Twitter, just horking our videos. We subscribe to your service, and then he sent me a very nice message apologizing and now wants to come on our show and is willing to promote our stuff. So it was a first-class move
awesome.
by at Sharp Football.
It was a nice apology.
As somebody that went to school for journalism, I mean, is there a quick rundown when it comes to plagiarism that some fans don't seem to understand?
I just don't understand why it's not hard to give people credit for the work they do.
Right.
Like, it's just really that simple. And, yeah, when you find something out from somebody, you tell people where it came from.
It's good business.
Like it's really not that hard
And
of
it
a
doesn't matter
concept.
if you're an outlet or a fan. Like, I've always operated that way, even before I was in the media. Like, give people their credit. I mean, Mark, one of our first ever interactions we ever had was me defending the work he was doing in an interview with Brian Urlacher. I just don't. It is frustrating. At the end of the day, we're talking about videos on Twitter. Is it the end-all, be-all? No.
Very important.
But we are working hard,
well,
and we appreciate people that credit us, and that support helps us with what we're trying to do here, and our sponsors are attached to a lot of the stuff we put out. So,
look, it's out of control at this point, and let's see how weird we can make this Friday show. I just do want to make this point real quick, because people do ask us for advice from at times, and we've talked to a couple of people this week that have come out to find us and say hi, and they're fans of the show, and they want to get in the business. And the point I make to them is, like, this is honestly more about, this business is so much more about networking and experience than it is where you got your education, to be honest.
I'm living proof
part
of
this, but to your point, part of this is you want to make friends along the way. You don't want to piss everyone else off. So, like, I think, Greg, you did a good job as you were, calling in Waddle and Sylvie, and you had my back one time, and a story I'll tell on a different time, but you had my back on the radio one time over something that someone said that shouldn't have been said. And, like, that's how you make friends in this business.
I forgot about that.
And if you're ever going to just steal people's work and put it out there, I'm just telling you, you're not going to make it. Here comes the pizza.
Let's go. My hero. Give me a hug. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much.
Pizza.
Look at this guy.
We got pizza.
Oh, tell us tell us about this wonderful stuff you just brought us.
This is Prince Street Pizza, originally out of New York in 2012. We're all over now. We just opened in Vegas at the Durango 2 months ago. And we're bringing homemade.
Pass
New York
over a
pizza
slice.
all across the country.
Oh my
This
goodness,
is the
this is
greatest
amazing.
moment of my life. You are the MVP.
That looks so
You
good.
said that earlier today when Bert Kreischer.
gosh.
Whoa. Make sure a piece gets down
Pizza,
this way.
Bert
Please.
Kreischer.
Give me that
Yeah,
one.
here, you grab one. You don't want it from my hands.
I don't want
Can
it
you
from
help us?
You don't,
Pass
you don't know
it
where my
down.
hands have been.
Pass another
You guys
one
aren't
down.
on camera, so you don't matter right now.
Prince
Wow.
Street Pizza. God, see what happens when my big mouth opens and I start yelling about things? Greatness happens.
This looks amazing.
Greatness. Prince Street Pizza, man.
Right,
This
get
is
over the
amazing.
microphone.
Thank
my God.
you so much.
Yep.
What was your name again?
My name is Graham.
Graham.
Yeah.
That's my mom's last name.
Okay.
We got a lot in common.
Fair enough.
Well, it is.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to keep this
Give me a
right
hug.
here.
Give me a hug. How we doing? Thank you so much.
This man is in his element today.
Madeline, thank you. Give me a hug. Bring it in.
Promise.
Bring it in.
I was hunting you guys down.
Love you guys.
Okay, there it is. Good job, Greg.
Yeah.
Outstanding work.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I was so hungover. This is good.
No. Lawrence.
Breaking.
Lawrence.
Braggs was hungover.
Lawrence.
What are we doing?
Oh. Are we back on the camera? Okay.
Dan
just making sure.
Orlovsky. Hogue.
I don't know. I can't see anything. Dan Orlovsky. Here's another conversation we did earlier in the week that honestly was maybe one of the best interviews we had all week, and we just now are getting to it because that's just
So
how
much going
it's
on.
been unbelievable. I'm going to eat this pizza while we play this. And yes, there is some quarterback talk here, plenty of it. But
It's a really good interview.
I think it's nuanced and gets in a little bit more of the technical weeds and things of some of the stuff that probably doesn't get talked about enough. Dan Orlovsky does a great job, obviously knows quarterback play. Here is our conversation with Dan from, I don't know, Wednesday, whatever day it was. Who cares?
This week.
There it is. All right, Dan Orlovsky from ESPN sitting down with us now on Radio Row.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What's going on?
We got nothing to talk about
You guys
when
are
it comes
boring,
to quarterbacks.
Yeah, boring time right now for you guys, huh?
Yeah.
As usual.
I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
What's it like being in your position where where like whatever you say in the mornings on ESPN, like Chicago reacts to it? Like how much of that is a conversation when you guys are, not that you're trying to get the reaction, but just because in your mentions on Twitter or whatever, you're going to have to deal with Bears fans.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's important. Bears fans are, I mean, while they're very amazing individually, like they're not all that different than a bunch of fan bases.
Yeah.
A lot of fan bases, if you say something that people don't like or agree with, they're going to jump on you in today's world. So I don't do a good job of being aware of like the platform often. Sometimes I just think of myself as a normal person, and then sometimes I'll get reminded because of something I say or when I'm like, oh, wow. And McAfee actually does a great job. He's like, yo, people actually, they listen to what you say more than you think, Dan. So I try to be conscious of that. But, I go about trying to do the very, very best job that I can be doing and convicted about. But Bears fans, I think at some points they've loved me and many points have hated me as well. So.
Well, as the anointed, some anoint me as the mayor of Bears Twitter. Adam Ranks the president. So,
he shared some stuff with me before.
It's refreshing to hear that other fan bases are like us, and
you're
we're
not alone.
on this.
You're not alone.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
Is there a question, or you just want to state your?
He just wanted to read. He wanted to lay his credentials down
again. That made me feel good.
Social media, man.
That made me feel good that we're not just this only toxic group out there.
All right. I have a question for Dan. So,
we're asking questions. I see.
I because you were very out there and supporting Justin and his talents. Where do you think he could be right now if he had been in the right situation versus where he is?
Oh, I think that if Justin went into a better situation that had structure and the offensive pieces around him and the offense that was built for him, I think he could be maybe a step below a Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen's obviously reached the pinnacle in the Super Bowl, and last year 2022 was an MVP season. I just think he's uniquely talented. I really do. And I'm not saying his game is flawless, but I think that if you look at all the quarterbacks that are playing at a relatively high and consistent level in the NFL and look at their traits, Justin has so many of those traits. Now, I don't know if he would get into that conversation of the Joshes and the Lamar and the Patricks, but I do think he would be a better player, at least perception-wise, than he is right now. And so, I mean, going into last year, I thought he was going to play at a remarkable level. And first stretch of the season, I think he played really good. The first 5 or 6 games, not that. But here's my thing. When you get a guy that is talented in a way that is different than so many other quarterbacks, you have to call stuff around him that is different than you would with so many other quarterbacks. And I think there's 2 examples of that not happening in Chicago. That's frustrating for a person, who is a big nerd when it comes to the scheme of football.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. We can feel free to get into this because I always wonder if his weaknesses are attacking over the middle of the field,
okay,
and not being exactly quick, let's say it, in getting the ball out. And I don't mean like holding out. I mean just like even when they're just trying to run perimeter screens.
Yeah.
Like for somebody it honestly gets frustrating sometimes because we're talking about somebody who's so athletically gifted and such a fast runner. It's like, how does this ball not come out quicker?
He's physically slower. As a thrower,
yes.
It's not a mental thing. It's not an information thing. It's not a processing thing. He is slow when it comes to throwing the football. So
can that be improved, I guess?
Yes.
And you're saying in terms of throwing motion or even beyond that?
No, it's a throwing motion thing. So I remember Justin was coming out. The draft was in Cleveland, right? And I remember I did a tape, and I got absolutely slaughtered for it because my one thing with Justin coming out physically was the elbow gets above the ball. And I was like, that takes longer to throw. Another person who did that was Carson Wentz. I was a big Carson Wentz guy as well. But the elbow got above the ball too consistently, and that takes time. And I tell people all the time, like 0.2 of a second in the NFL is freaking eternity, okay? But if you hold it at 2.4 seconds in comparison to 2.2, defensive ends and guys are going to get to that. Can it be improved? Yes, but not that much, And even though he doesn't work the middle of the field that much, I would say I don't know if the scheme has promoted it that much. I don't know if they've had the humans to do it that consistently to have that person that was going to be that pass catcher over the field. In Justin's respect of it, Justin doesn't have a ton of different pitches. Justin can drive the ball down the field. That's why he's really good at throwing the ball down the field. But he doesn't have that. I was just doing this with Brock Purdy. Like, let's say this is running an in route, right? I'm Justin. This is defender. Here comes this in route. Well, if that defender's there on this play, I want to rip that in route. I can rip it. That's open there. Well, if this defender 15 plays later, I'm on the same thing, and this defender's here, that's still open, but I can't drive that ball. Mm-hmm. I have to have some variance and touch to it. Justin doesn't have a high level of that just yet. I think that absolutely can be improved on. That's a mechanics thing. That's a rep thing. That's a seeing it thing.
Feel it.
Yeah, that can be improved on. Now, I don't know if you're ever going to get to that level where some guys are, that touch throwers, Joe and Brock. Patrick is one of them. But, I think that's one of the reasons why he hasn't worked the middle of the field consistently.
So let's talk about the scheme. I mean, you bring up schemes. So Shane Waldron comes in here. They've also got Kerry Joseph comes over from Seattle, Thomas Brown. This is the McVay coaching tree, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you think that would fit to Justin's strengths? And from Seattle, we've had some Seattle beat guys come on, and it's like mixed reviews, but national guys seem to really enjoy what Shane Waldron draws up. Yeah,
what I like about Shane is he's got to watch Sean, and Sean had to change offenses in L.A. He was the old school Shanahan stuff, and then the Super Bowl year, it was like, we can't do this anymore. We got to change it. Matthew's just a freakazoid. We can spread it out and throw it, and then they morphed it a little bit as the postseason went on. So I like that he saw adaptation. I think offenses that are putting quarterbacks under the center more, using multiple tight ends, tying things in together, that's best in football. I would have said that about Luke Getsy as well, though. And he didn't do that last year, specifically, again, on those first 5 or 6 games. Yep. So I think there's stuff about Shane's game that you like, or Shane's play calling that you like. I don't know if Justin's going to be the guy pulling the trigger for him either.
So we're talking to you, Dan, on Wednesday, February the 7th, late in the day after you've done 1,000 interviews. We appreciate you making time for us, but it's all just to put you on the spot at this moment. If you're the Bears, what are you doing with the amount of information that you have right now?
Yeah, I think I'm taking a quarterback. I don't know which one yet. I probably lean towards Caleb Williams. I've said all year I don't think he's the lock there. But I think I'm taking a quarterback. I think that because of everyone says, well, you reset the financial thing. How the Jets did that with Zach Wilson. How'd that turn out? So, like, it can't. You got to take the guy that you think is going to be the better player. I don't care about the money.
Agreed.
Like, who cares? You think Buffalo regrets paying Josh Allen? No, I'll give him a gajillion dollars. Or Baltimore with Lamar. So if you think that Caleb Williams is or is going to be a better player, take him. If you think that Drake May is, I don't care what happened with Mitchell Trubisky and is going to be, you take him. If you think Jaden Daniels, and so I think just because of the talent level that those guys have, and a little bit of like, again, I'm Team Justin. We probably have it, unless something radically changes with him. I don't know if he's going to become that much better of a player. There's a lot of beauty in the unknown with those college prospects.
Yep.
So you say you're leaning Caleb. I heard somebody say that the amount of throws Caleb's had in his college career, Justin didn't equal that amount of throws until his second year in the NFL.
Yeah, he's got a lot of reps.
Right, and that's what happens in this, Cliff Kingsbury, Lincoln Riley system. These guys get a lot of throws in college. So when you're talking about Justin Fields and the different types of throws he can make, when you look at Caleb Williams, talk about all
freak talent. I remember Caleb coming out of high school because he was part of the QB collective, which is, again, I think something that's attached to LaFleur and McVay. And I remember watching.
Been a part of that too.
Correct. And I remember watching him throw in high school and being like, I'm a big throwing motion guy. I am. I like, for me, the quarterbacks that look just like, hey, when the first time you picked up a ball and threw it, it looked different than everybody around you. Caleb has that, and I've said he's the combination, and people take this and make it more than it is. He's style-wise, he's Josh, he's Lamar, and he's Patrick. And what I mean by that is this. He can do things physically like Patrick that make no sense. That you're like, dude, you're not supposed to be able to do that. Throws when I'm running full speed to my left and falling out of bounds, throwing it 30 yards on a dot. Not supposed to physically, that's not supposed to be done. He's a little bit like Lamar in the open field where you go, my goodness, you're the best athlete on the field, dude. You're making people look stupid in high-level college football. Lamar does it in the NFL. And he's a little bit like Josh where hey, bud, you don't have to throw the ball 45 yards downfield on first down and try to fit it in three guys. There's a wide open person 6 yards right there. And he is a big play hunter. You're going to have to coach that out of him. You're gonna, because he chases the big play all the time. Why? One, the defense stunk at USC. You got to score. That's your mindset. Two, he's the best athlete on the field, so it's probably fun. Three, has it been demanded of him? Has it been demanded of him as a necessity? It will in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been calling it like you're going to have to coach him down a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
But it's better to pull him back than say sick him.
Exactly. Yeah, you played in the black and blue division. I mean, any stories from just Chicago or having to be,
Yeah, I got a story. So it comes off of last week. So my daughter, I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's a maniac. And so sometimes she's a very aggressive little girl, great athlete. And so she'll mess around and she'll take my fingers and bend them. And so she'll try to bend my thumb. Now this thumb has got steel plates in it and pins. Ouch. So she was trying to do it this week and she was like, what happened? And I'm like, I got this, my rookie year. No, not my rookie year. Maybe my second or third year. We're playing at Chicago, and I have a play. This is with like Tommy Harris and Alex Brown and
Spice Adams.
Straight lunatics.
Spice, you remember Mike Brown, the safety of Nebraska?
He's a legend.
Calvin Johnson's in the Hall of Fame, but we call a play, and it's a run play, and if the corner's off, I think it was Peanut or somebody, and soft, I can take the ball and kick it out to Calvin. Just go get 5 yards, bub. Well, corner's off. I go to pick it up and throw it to Calvin. Calvin's blocking, so I'm like, oh, crap. So I take off running, and as I take off running, Mike Brown is beelining for my soul. And this is when you could hit quarterbacks, and launches, and I just get shellacked by Mike Brown fumble, and my thumb got stuck in his helmet.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I just remember being like, well, that's not going to be good. That's one. And then my rookie year was the story. We were playing with Marcus Pollard. Joey Harrington was the quarterback. He threw a seam against Mike Brown. I thought he killed Marcus Pollard.
Well, if Mike
was
Brown
the best,
hadn't gotten hurt, I think the Bears might have won a Super Bowl. So
He was so good.
Mike Brown.
Those
Bears
guys that
fans
played
loved
with him on that team really believe
Yeah.
that if Mike Brown hadn't gotten hurt, they might have beaten the Colts. So
Hey, you made
Yeah.
all those guys look bad at the accuracy thing for the Pro Bowl. All the current quarterbacks.
It was a lucky
nice
day.
work there.
It was a lucky
We
day.
appreciate you coming on.
yeah,
here
we got to
today.
let you go.
man.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Appreciate you guys. Good to connect.
Thanks, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was we're still talking about my resting Hogue face even during that interview. You guys need to calm down.
That was a trip through resting Hogue face because you looked completely disinterested at one moment, and then 5 seconds later you were like looking like you wanted to marry Dan Orlovsky. So it was an interesting combination right there.
He was way taller than I expected.
Very
He's
tall.
a tall guy.
Very nice.
He's a tall.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
Very insightful. That was a great. Good job, you
Yeah,
guys.
he was very nice. There's different personalities on Radio Row, and when you meet them, it's a business, so it's no judging. But the people that are nicer like that, it is refreshing to see that.
To take people behind the scenes, while we were airing that interview, Bragg said, "What up to Flavor Flav?" And Carm, you definitely took a photo with him. I saw you.
I put it on Instagram with a great caption, I thought, because first of all, it's the worst picture I've ever taken. My hair looks like I've
Both
lost
of you
6.
guys, it's day 5. How do we not understand this?
What are you talking about?
Not good either.
There, is that okay?
Thanks.
I mean, I can hear myself
Thanks, Dad.
very loudly.
welcome.
But so the point is that my hair looks like it's receding.
Nobody cares.
My nose looks absolutely enormous. I have a weird. I need to looks like I need to brush my teeth, but I still put it up there because
It's Flavor Flav.
I got the flavor.
You do need to brush your teeth, by the way.
I turned
that's good.
I turned to Hogue after he walked by. I was like, I love this.
Can we
place.
get out of here?
I don't want to leave.
Neither do I.
I love Super Bowl week. They're kicking us out, though. We have other shows that need the space. We got some supers to get to.
No, I mean,
we're going to walk around and get more content before we leave.
We're not done. We're not
it.
done working yet.
Nope, we're not done at all. The party never stops.
Jordan Love's here.
I may never leave.
Braggs is going to tackle him.
Yeah, Jordan Love's walking around, and I fully intend to walk up to him and tell him he's ruining my life. Michael Renault, $1.99 super chat. Ha ha ha! Bert Kreischer was on. There we go. Yes.
Bert?
Yeah, Bert.
Oh, Bert.
April 4th,
We
United
called him
Center.
Bert Kreischer.
I'm going. Are you guys coming with me?
I'm going. We're definitely going. After that moment, how are we not going? Sounds like a lot of fun.
I have dreams of.
You know, when you're selling out the United Center, you're a megastar as a
without a
stand-up
doubt.
comedian. So we got a couple more super chats before we get out of here. Last one of Radio Row Week. It's been a fun week here. We appreciate everybody tuning in and their support. $10 super chat from Yoshino. Based on the Hall of Famers and the teams they played for, my guess is that the Bears will play the Broncos at the Hall of Fame game.
Jordan Love.
Great coverage this week, guys.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Here it is.
There we
Greg.
go. This is where my uncomfortable level goes.
Do
It's going to
it,
go up
do
to
it.
10. This is going to be a 10. Now I'm uncomfortable.
We got to stay on for one more second to see if Braggs can pull this off.
Well, this should just be a social video. It doesn't need to be on the show.
Okay.
Of course it needs to be on the show.
He's talking to somebody.
But he's got to go.
Okay. Were there more supers?
Hey, Jordan, I'm a Bears fan. You're ruining my life.
By the way, that was an NFL Films. That was an NFL Films camera and microphone following, and I hope that ends up somewhere like. Oh my God, dude!
What a week!
I wonder if there's any chance that they're filming him for. I don't want to start stuff. Is there any
Just
chance they're filming
start stuff. It's
for the
okay.
quarterback show on Netflix?
Could be.
I don't know.
Who
Why are they
knows?
following him around right now?
I don't
That
know,
was
but
NFL Films.
You might just have
If
made
you
NFL
end up
Films.
on Netflix telling him that you're
It's a good thing I wore the CHGO
Hey,
shirt today.
yeah.
Brandon, baby.
One of my
Good
stupid, loud-ass suits.
$50 super? What do we got?
Kevin Carlson is the man. I love when he comes to our events. I miss you, Kevin. What did Kevin say?
Kevin Carlson said, $50 super chat. Go to the roulette table and put 25 on 1 and 25 on 13. Let the spin decide JF1 or Caleb. I like that.
Wow. I actually do like that move.
Except it'll be like 36.
Yeah. Which behind the scenes move. We gambled at Circa the first night. We're walking out of there. Braggs has got two $25 chips. So why don't you cash those in? I'm coming back. I'm going to use them. I'm not listening. Dude.
We've been at Circa almost every night.
Well, yeah, you had to go back this morning, and we were 7 minutes late.
Tell me I could have cashed that in at the D.
You could
Tell
not
me
have.
I could have.
You could not have.
Because they're
maybe. Is this
no.
My dumbass went all the way to
No. They're separate places.
It doesn't matter. By the way, you know what would happen if we actually did that? We have to go, but I'm going to end it like this. If we took that advice and we put the money on 1 and the money on 13, you know what number would come up?
00?
17. Just for you. Just for you.
Listen, I saw some people making some negative Tyson Bagent comments in the Orlovsky interview. I do not that is uncalled for. This is a celebration of the Super Bowl week. You will back that off. Tyson Bagent had a great season, and I don't care if he beat the Carolina Panthers and the Las Vegas Raiders. He was 2-2. That's a quality backup.
Will you shut up so we can thank our
Bagent for life.
sponsors? We have to thank our sponsors
Thank you,
that have allowed you to be here and have punished me by making me be around you two all week. Nick, you've been a joy as always. Thank you very much for being a normal human being.
MVP.
Tuesday was a bad day for me.
Well,
Tuesday was a bad night.
Getting it in?
Tuesday was an issue.
I've had a great time.
But you had one night. These two have just been
Pleasure
them.
doing
Why are
business with
you
you.
lumping me in with this guy?
Because you're an idiot.
Thank you to Prize Picks.
What a week.
For having us out here. As always, make sure you use promo code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. And thank you to Factor Meal Kits as well. CHGO Bears 50. We are out of here. Way more content on our YouTube channel.
Sing the fight song right now.
Thank you to all the ladies of ALLCITY.
We have to go.
You guys
They're
have
kicking
been
us
the best.
off.
They're kicking us out.
We'll see you back on Monday after the game. We'll talk to you then.
Enjoy of it.
All silly like the mayor.